Deer overrunning the neighborhood. Welcome to Community News. My name is Paul.
And I'm Jillian.
Jillian.
That's
Wow.
Right. You know me. You know I'm Jillian.
Hi, Jillian.
Why are you acting surprised?
I'm just shocked. I didn't know.
Oh,
I didn't know who was sitting here.
Because you usually call me Jilly.
Yes, that's it. Hi, Jilly. Are you the same Jillian who hangs out at the... Oh, I can't talk about that. So anyway, welcome to Community News. Jillian is here with us today.
That's right. You really like this one. You got me on a side note thing that I want to know. Do men call, when people have cutesy nicknames, like girls have cutesy nicknames like that, like if I was Jillian, but I said I would like you to call me Jilly,
right?
Does it feel silly? Call it like Jilly?
It depends how long I know you. Okay. I might come up with like Jillers or Jillison.
Oh, you
or
would?
Jill, or
okay. It's kind of goofy, isn't it? Like, I mean, I don't.
Is it with a J
Paul,
or a G? Which one are you doing?
I'm J.
You're J,
Jillian, right. But I do know some Jillians with a G. I always think that's Gillian, but that's besides the point.
Or Gilligan.
That's right. It throws me off. But you're Paul. I guess some people call you Paulie. Guys call you Paulie, right?
Some people do.
Yeah. So I guess, silly nicknames. But anyway, I am Jillian.
Okay.
With a J.
Jillian with a J. And so this is Community News. How many deer have you had in your property? It's been all over the community newspaper.
Goodness.
It's been all over the community TV station. And so I guess we have to talk about it here on the podcast because we can't be left out.
Yeah.
It's amazing. This morning I woke up and there were 4 grazing on our front lawn.
Wow.
And there were 2 across the street from us.
Unbelievable. You feel like you're in some kind of a Disney movie, right?
Right.
I feel it when I look out the window. I'm like, how did this happen? But I guess obviously
It's a very warped Disney movie, though. It's one of those Disney movies that turn very dark.
Yours or the one you're envisioning with the deer?
Both.
Oh my gosh.
Believe me. Yes, my life is a Disney movie turned very dark. But yes, the deer turns very dark.
Yeah.
But there's no... it's not like the baby, one of the babies or the mother dies on this one. It's just that they're all there.
They're just all there.
It's just a nightmare.
Yeah, the deers that I see in my yard, or deer plural, they seem so aggressive.
Is it deer or deers?
Yeah, that's what I just realized. I'm thinking deer.
Are you
plural.
sure?
I'm not sure.
Deers?
Should we Google it?
Deer or deers?
So a deer, that's one deer. But I find them so aggressive. I'm scared of them. Like they definitely don't look Disney, like they're going to start singing. They look like they're going to, like Planet of the Apes, like they're ready to reverse the order. And they're going to be the people and we're going to be the animal. They don't give a
shit about anything. They just stare you down.
Right? And they're looking at you like, listen, this was our turf first and we're taking it back, biatches.
Do they say biatches? Is that the kind of look they give you?
You told me last time I could say bitch, so yeah, I just thought I'd still be on the safe side and go biatch. What is the plural of deer? I've looked to the side.
And what does it say?
It says,
deer.
Is the plural of deer the same as the singular?
And what does it say?
I can't get a clear-cut answer here.
Oh, my God.
Hippo.
What good is... What?
Word hippo. Word hippo is the plural form of deer is also deer.
No, go back to hippo. Why did hippo come up?
I don't know. This site is called Word Hippo.
Oh, Word
Hippo. HIPPO. In rare, non-standard context, the plural form of deer can also be deers, but the plural apparently is deer.
Okay.
According to Word Hippo.
I have a lot of deers on my property.
You're that special context.
Right.
I have a lot too, and this is what I don't get. I mean, we grew up, you and I, relatively in this area, within an hour away each.
Right.
I don't remember seeing, I remember when you saw a deer, it was like a big thing. You'd call the neighbors' kids. It was like adorable that there was nature. Now they're everywhere.
Well, that's because there's a house on every inch of property possible.
I was going to say, everyone says it's that.
The deers have nowhere to go.
So everyone says it's that, and it's sort of interesting that you accept that as the answer because you're a cynic like me. For some reason, I don't accept that answer.
What answer do you think it is, then?
I don't know, but I feel like that's not it.
You think
it's
they're
not
just
the
like,
building.
Fuck this, you guys are living in nice houses and we're just going to live on your property? Is that basically what their attitude is?
Or I'm like,
Take that, biatches. Is that what they're saying?
Or are they overpopulating more than they were? Were there just not this many deer before?
Deers.
Yours are deers. Mine are deer.
I don't know. No, I think there were always a lot of deers. I think it's
Do you remember this many growing up?
No,
Just
I do-
wandering around as if they live there.
I don't remember.
I don't either.
I honestly do not remember.
Now, I'm not a hunter. I'm not a gun person, but I would imagine that people who have like BB guns would be having a field day with all the deer.
Really?
Don't you think?
I have not heard any shots ring out in our neighborhood yet.
Me
As
neither.
of yet.
But I would think people with that mentality who like to, hunt and shoot stuff.
What's going on over there?
I don't know.
Relax over there.
I was trying to move in and I almost toppled over my table and my mic. But anyway, I would think that, people like, I don't know, kids, teenagers who have BB guns, I would think they'd be practicing.
I would
it.
hope we lived in a more humane neighborhood where everybody would just accept the fact that they're going to get, I was going to say swine flu, but that's not. They're going to get Lyme disease.
Well, there is a lot of Lyme disease, that's for sure.
Right. So I don't know what they're going to do about this deer population. I thought we'd bring it up just because everybody else is bringing it up. And
we wanted our news to stay up with all the other
right,
news.
and we just wanted to give our take on it. But more importantly, something that I miss is going to back to school night, and you had the pleasure of going.
I did.
I loved back to school tonight. It was, even though I hate people, it was one of my favorite things to do.
And you told me this once, and I still find that hard to believe because I actually sort of enjoy people and hate back to school night. So I'm trying to think, what would that mean?
I think we approached it different ways. I would go to back to school night and sit out there with my ex-wife, and I would say, okay, I would look at the parents and I'd say, okay, I know that kid is an asshole just by looking at their parents. I would say, we would sit outside and I'd say, if the parents are in there for more than 5 minutes, you know the kid is having trouble. So we'll know what kid is in trouble or what kid is not doing well. So that's the game I would play.
Okay.
I really didn't interact with anyone. I would just make up my own stories in my head.
I see.
And occasionally I would go into the teacher and say, that kid, those parents were in here for 20 minutes. That kid's a problem, right?
Would you? And would they laugh or would they still keep the straight face?
It depended on the teacher. But one actually told me, yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. That is the whole modus operandi. If we're in here for a long time, it's either that the parents are a pain in the ass or that the kids are a pain in the ass.
They actually said that to you?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm surprised because I feel like teachers have to walk such a line. Like they're so PR, you can't say anything that's at all human.
Well, look at me when I walk in. I'm like, all right, I'm the type of guy who will say, all right, what the fuck is going on with my kid?
But even so, you could also be the guy with the tape recorder and then they're in trouble for slander.
Oh, look at you.
Yes.
You've got a legal degree at this point.
Yes, I'm calling back to the legal terms that you taught me.
So what happened at your, enough with my reminiscing on my favorite back to school night.
I think it's so sweet. I wish I loved it like you. See, I go thinking I want to say hi to the people I know and hi, how are you? Hi. But there's not a lot of anything past hi, how are you? So then I find it
There's a lot of cutthroat parents who just need to be the first one in line because they realize they have to parse out which teachers they need to see. So they put one parent strategically here, one parent strategically there.
You think so? I have not
absolutely.
Experienced that.
Yes.
I've not experienced that. I've seen more.
Those are the 5:22 a.m. guys.
Oh, that's who it must be.
Yeah.
The 522 couples. No, I've seen more twin parents doing that. I see the twin parents stressing, like one has to be at one teacher's class and one has to be at the other.
They don't put the twins in the same class?
No.
Really?
Why? Did they when your
pain
kids
in
were
the
in
ass.
school?
Because if I had twins, I would just say, just put them in. I don't want to have to deal with that many teachers
Running
and that
to
much
different
crap.
people.
Just put them all together,
Right. No, the school has that. The public schools have that belief that twins have to have their own identity, so they separate them. But it makes it really hard for the parents because they have to be. And sometimes they each want to meet each one's teacher, so then they have to switch in the middle of the sitting in one teacher session. Then they switch and they go to the other.
You see, I always took the teacher which I knew would be the easiest to talk to. So whatever, I knew which subjects my kids did best in, and those are the ones I would check off, and I'd let my wife go to the ones that I knew were just going to be nightmares.
That is so funny.
So,
see, the thing I leave it feeling just very empty. I feel like it's an empty night to me because it's just, they're performing, they're giving their rules, they're telling you, it's very generic. I honestly don't even see the point. I'm going to be honest with you. Just put a name to a face.
Right.
But,
See, I like bullshitting. That's what I do. I like picking out parents and saying which kid is a pain in the ass, which parents are a pain in the ass, and getting some sort of confirmation.
Yeah.
So that's basically what I looked at it as. I didn't look at it as any
A
need to
social,
find out. Yeah, I didn't look at it as what my kids were doing.
to
I had
find-
no idea. I had
Right.
no clue as to what
You
they were
don't know
doing.
what the requirement was for biology lab?
I have no idea. No
right.
idea. To this day, I couldn't email a teacher or anything like that.
Well, funny you said that because when I'm sitting there and people have really specific questions, and it does occur to me that like, wow, I don't really monitor my kids' work too closely because I have no idea.
Oh, they have a test? What's a test?
Well, and they have the Schoology that they check on Schoology to see what their assignments
A
are.
Schoology?
You never heard?
No, that sounds very
since
scary.
your
That must
kids
be
left-
Post My Kids.
Yeah, they have a computer system where you can check in and see what your kid's assignment is and how they're doing in the class. And it occurred to me, I never check in on that. I don't even know how to log into it.
Wow. So your kids are just on their own.
They're autopilot, baby.
Wow. Since the guidance counselor sided with the bully several weeks ago, the kids have nowhere to turn.
Right. I did tell you they should have one adult. No, they know they can turn to me, but I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm.
Except when it comes to school.
Well, the most important thing. Well, I guess I'm just not micromanaging their assignments. I suppose if one of them stopped getting good grades, I would look at it, but I've never looked at that site. But when I sit in the back to school, I realize, wow. Some
So
people are
what Jillian
really
is trying to say
monitoring.
is both her kids do exemplary in school.
No,
So-
they do fine. Decent, like the hi-ho. They do
Hey, no
decent.
more mentioning the hi-ho.
Oh, I mean, like that hotel we're not going to mention.
But speaking of that hotel, it is. So anyway, we got a question, an actual question from the audience.
Oh,
And it's
great.
addressed to you.
Oh.
It's addressed to Melissa, which was
Okay.
your name last week. But I guess
Right.
Melissa, Jillian, it's the same person.
I was Melissa, but now
They
I'm
want to
Jillian.
know, have you had any more confrontations with the crossing guard at school, or is it just a one-time incident?
It was just the one time, but I haven't seen that same one there. I've seen others, which makes me wonder, not to be completely narcissistic, but it does make me wonder, did people report that he yelled at me? And did they decide to give him some other post in the town because he's too, unhinged?
He was demoted to the grammar school after that whole incident. That's what happened. That's where they go.
Well, yeah, I think maybe he was too aggressive and unhinged to have that post, so
Right.
maybe they moved
It
him.
had all to do with just yelling at you. It's amazing
Exactly.
the power you yield in this
The
town.
power I have, even though people pretend they don't notice me at the train party.
Right.
I feel like, and even though I'm jumping into pools that I don't even belong to, I feel like I'm anonymous and anonymous at the same time.
Anonymous and anonymous?
No, I was saying anonymous, which isn't really a word, but I feel like I'm anonymous and
Wait,
I'm
I'm
the
looking that up
opposite.
on Google. You're right, it's not a word.
Yeah, like I'm anonymous and the opposite of it.
Oh.
I'm anonymous and sort of infamous at the same time.
There's something I need to ask you. With the multiple names, do you have
Yes.
multiple personalities at this point? Do you take on a different personality with each name, or is it the same personality?
What do you think? Because I've been in here with you with a different name every week. Do I seem different or the same?
You seem the same, but as you venture out into the world, you use
Right.
different. Do you use the same name throughout the same day, or do you use different names throughout the day depending on the situation
Same
you're
name
in?
for a whole. It was going to be a week, but it's turning out to be 9 days
Okay.
that I used the name. Don't
Wow.
ask me why.
9 days.
It just has worked out to that. I never thought I was OCD, but now I realize sometimes I'm like, maybe I have that number thing because when I was trying to do it every week, the 7 bothered me. And
Right.
I just
So it had to go to 9.
Had to go to
But it
9.
had to be an odd number.
had to be an odd number, didn't want it to be
Odd
10.
with you, I find that very strange. But yes, go ahead.
Didn't want it to be a 10, didn't want double digits. So 9 seemed to be, 5 seemed too short for people to get used to it.
Right.
But Jillian, it's funny, I haven't changed my personality, but when you were asking about the crossing guard, I realized I do feel a little different as Jillian. I feel
Really?
a little more, I don't know.
You're
just a
taking
little
on, I can
different.
feel that aura around you.
A vibe, yeah.
No, not at all. But speaking of the crossing guard, I could use it outside my house. Not to make
the
a
deer?
segue, but the deer, whatever.
Yeah, they should put up deer crossing guards.
No, we have a bus stop outside our house.
Okay.
And we have our town, or I should say our town. Our street is repopulating at this point. We are one of the older couples on the street. So there are a lot of little kids who stand out there, and a lot of kids who are still in middle school and high school. The one that drives me crazy is the woman who lives next door to me, who in high school drives her kid to the bus stop. The bus comes, and then she backs her car up back into her driveway. That's how close it is. And it's every single day since the kid has been in grade school through middle school, now into high school?
Well, it's hard to let go. I mean, I feel like I'm still doing that with the driveway, with the kids.
You drive your kids to the end of the driveway?
Well, if I'm not driving them all the way to school, on a good weather day, no. But if it's raining or really cold,
And the bus stop comes to the end of your driveway?
it doesn't. It comes down to the corner. But the guy made a deal with us that if we, on a really bad weather day, that we can do that, drive to the end.
Wow.
Yeah,
I don't know.
so
I don't
only on
know
a
if I
bad
could do
weather day.
this
I've only done
podcast
it
with
once.
you anymore.
Because I'm that person.
Yes.
I've only done it once so far since school has started that it was pouring rain and I drove.
I'm beginning to think the crossing guard had a good reason to yell at you at this point.
The rest of the time he likes being at the bus stop. But the day that it was pouring rain, I did drive him. But I didn't drive him to the neighbors down there. I went to just the end of my driveway.
Well, that's even worse. You didn't even take him to the real bus stop. You're making the bus take multiple
No,
stops.
the bus driver told me he would do that. He made a point of telling me that on a bad weather day, I could do that.
Is he a fan of this podcast? Is that why he did it?
I should give him a business card of the podcast so he could listen. I don't think he's listened yet.
You can give him a shout out right
I think
now.
he's just being extra nice so that he gets a better tip Christmas time.
Do you tip bus drivers?
Of course.
You do? What do you give them?
Doesn't everybody on your side of town?
No.
You're kidding me.
I've never tipped a bus driver.
Oh,
Are you
everybody
supposed
does.
to?
Well, I don't know. It's sort of, maybe it's not in
Should I do
your-
it now that my kids are out of school? Just wave them
Exactly.
down and give them
Just
a
give
tip
them
at
money
this point?
for not picking someone up at your house.
Right? How great would that be? I'm
That
going to
would be
tip him
really
just
funny.
to pass the bus stop.
Well,
How funny would that
it
be?
would be
The
funny for you to
parents
do
going
it.
irate.
It would be funny for you to do it just for a goof, because if parents on your bus have not been tipping up until now, that'll be even make them look even worse. That you're now giving a tip and you don't even have a kid. This was
I'm not giving him a tip. I just want him to just pass the bus. I'm just giving him money just to pass the bus stop, just so the kids don't have a bus one day.
Well, it would still be considered a tip.
Oh,
you know?
is it?
Yeah, but no. So what do we give? We give like 25 Christmas time and 25 or 35 at the end of the year.
Wow.
So they get that from all the people. That's
That's
pretty
very
good.
generous. No wonder why he stops at I'm surprised he doesn't drive into the house and pick up the kids in their room
Give
for
them
that.
breakfast.
Yes.
No wonder, like you said, yeah, why do they do it? I'm just thinking maybe that is why, for the tip, or maybe just to be nice. Does anyone do anything just to be nice anymore?
Not me. I just am not nice, so no.
You actually are nice. You
Am I?
You try to present yourself as not nice, but you actually, the experience of you is nice. At least Jillian thinks so.
That's Melissa, not so much, but
Melissa
Jillian.
was on the fence. She thought you were
The
decent.
522 people like me because I didn't say much.
Exactly.
That
You were
was
right
good.
in there with the type A guys.
Which is amazing.
Well, I think I can see you like really metamorphosizing into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you.
What, into a type A or
Yeah.
just someone who doesn't talk?
Well, no, I just see you blending with type A's.
Why, though?
I don't know.
I don't
You have
know
a
why
quick-
that
You know
happened.
what? You're a quick talker.
Uh-huh.
You're sharp. You have a quick way about you.
Yeah,
And
but
you look like you might be a stockbroker.
Yeah, but I'm not that cutthroat that
No,
I'm
you're not.
I-
But just by being silent, one can,
Maybe for
wonder.
9 days I could handle it. That's basically it.
Yeah, you know what it makes
Much
me
like
realize
your
for 9
names.
days? You know what it makes me realize? I'm going to start being quieter. Not necessarily on this show, but in life. I think like when you pull back, the way you're quiet, then people think like, oh,
Really?
yeah, maybe it gives you a sense of like power or something.
I find that hard to believe that you will be quiet either on the show and or in real
Well, not
life.
on the show, because then what would be the point of me being here? You could just do it yourself.
That's what she said.
Exactly. But in real life, I think I'm going to try. Oh, did you want to talk about what the paper is?
How did you? We were like kindred. We have mind thing. That's exactly what I wanted to do. I
Oh my
wanted to close
gosh.
the show on. We did work for the community newspaper. We haven't brought it up too much. We're leaving it low.
Right.
But I
'Cause you
did
don't want
notice that they
slander.
had a tip as to what kind of chores to give your kids.
Oh, I need to read that article because lately my kids have been slacking.
Really?
Well, yeah, we used to have chores and a list of chores and things they need to do, but ever since Fortnite, I feel like
That's taken over?
since the younger one discovered Fortnite, I have to remind him just to feed his dog.
That was one of the chores on there.
Yeah, feed
Put
the
in the
dog.
dishes
Oh,
in the
it was in there?
dishwasher.
Right.
Are you going back to? Was that your list of community news at the community newspaper?
It wasn't mine. But that actually, it's bothering me. My kids used to put it in the dishwasher, and now they've regressed. They only just put it up on the counter, dirty. They don't even.
Don't
rinse
they
it out.
realize that they're living with a podcast star in their house and that they should be treating you accordingly?
Treating me with royalty?
Right.
No, it's not even about that, but just we live
Royalty
in a
or
house.
accordingly, yes.
Or
One of both,
accordingly.
either both. As royalty.
Mean today.
Who?
Ooh, Jillian does not bring out a good response, and Paul. Note taken. Time to move on from the J names. Although he didn't mind Jessica. He was nicer to Jessica.
I am. I'm very, yeah.
Jillian brings something out
Because
of him.
I don't know what to call you. I'm thinking of all the nicknames for Jillian.
And then it pisses him off that he has to think of those nicknames.
Right. I'm getting lost train of thought. Now, if you're royalty, are you wearing a crown around the house or no?
Well, I finally gave away my wedding tiara to a little girl, but I did hold on to it for, the tiara that you wear under the veil.
If you wore that, the kids would do the chores. You
I know.
shouldn't have given it
I shouldn't have
away.
given it away to that little girl. I held on to it for years, and then I realized how sad it is. Wait, why do we even wear that on our wedding day? And why is there a crystal tiara in my closet? And how far this is removed from my life. So I gave it away because it was actually depressing to look at it.
How long ago was that?
Probably 8 years ago.
Really?
It was depressing to look at.
That coincides with the exact time your kids stopped doing chores. It's amazing.
You're right. Maybe I needed to wear it around the house. I never wore it around the house. It was in my closet, but I said, why am I saving this thing?
But they knew it was there. They felt the presence of the royalty.
Of the fake diamond tiara.
Right.
Why do people wear tiaras on their wedding day? I mean, it's absurd.
I didn't wear one on my wedding day.
Women, did your bride wear one under her veil?
I'm trying to think if she wore a tiara. I'm trying to think.
What was I thinking? That's just absurd.
That day is very cloudy in my mind.
Is
I
it?
can't remember.
It's such a weird day. It has nothing to do with the rest of what marriage looks like. And that's the thing that bothered me. Tiara, what? The contrast is so absurd.
I would have figured you would have worn the tiara as you're going into the pool as Mrs. Roper diving in. No?
Or to back to school night. That would be a funny outfit to wear to back to school night.
The security guard would have never yelled at you had you been wearing that. You got to get that tiara back.
Maybe
It's going to change your life.
Yeah, I could go buy a cheap one at Party City and drive around with it on my head and see if anyone even says anything. At the commuter party, I still don't think that would have gotten me entree to one of the groups.
No, probably not.
No, they'd shun. Then they would have really shunned me.
You're royalty.
Crazy lady with a plastic tiara.
If they only knew.
But that's the least of it.
Right. We're just scratching the surface.
Are you my therapist or are you Paul?
Today?
No, I just was joking in general because, you're saying scratch the surface. You know me so well. But, that brings me to a point that I have to get my therapist to listen to this show because I feel like we talk about things here I don't talk about there. She doesn't even know that I would be viewed as someone who would be wearing the tiara and eliciting laughs
You hide
from you.
those type of things from her? I would think that would, what
Actually,
number therapist do you want? I forget.
It's like my 17th. But this is like...
do you start from scratch with every therapist? Does all 17 know the beginning story and then you sort of peter out?
I don't. I start with today, but then at some point they go back to everything. And that's why I'm just sticking with the same one because I don't want to go over the same
Out of the
old stories.
17, how many have gone back past, how many have you spent?
Oh, they all go all the way. Everybody has to go through all of it. Let me ask you this, because you're a therapy believer too. Do you think maybe we're doing it wrong in my therapy? Because really, all we do is I talk about what I did that week and thoughts I had that I think are crazy, and then I say am I really crazy? Am I like the craziest? And then she'll go, no, you're not crazy at all. And she just reassures me that I'm not crazy and that this is normal, and that's our whole session. Is that what you're supposed to be doing?
I'm not sure. I go to regressive therapy where I talk about my infant
Your
stage.
inner child?
Right, my inner child.
Do you take out a bottle and have to wear a diaper?
I weep a lot during therapy, so.
Oh, no.
There's no bottle. I can have a bottle during
Oh,
therapy.
I meant baby bottle.
I know. I can have a baby bottle.
Well, when you were describing the infantilism.
And somebody can change me?
Yeah, I was picturing when, remember
That's a whole different type of therapy.
Remember those old talk shows where they had the people on that would come on in the baby diapers? I think it was Phil Donahue. Men that's what I thought you were referring to. Anyway, how'd we get off on this? I'm just saying because you seem to know my little crazy buttons, but she's constantly telling me that I'm just totally normal, not crazy.
Well, I think, what they say is most therapists are even crazier than their patients. So she
That's
probably
true.
thinks of you as kind of normal.
Almost like a role model?
If you really got into it and really told her deep down, then she'd realize you're insane like the rest of
I feel like I
us.
do tell her deep down, but yeah. Yeah, maybe what she hears is
Maybe
even worse.
she's even more insane.
Or what she hears is so much worse.
What she hears From other
other
people?
patients, right?
Oh, so you're probably one of the sane ones, is
I
what you're
don't
trying
know.
to say?
Not sane, but maybe on the spectrum of what she hears, maybe she's saying it's not that crazy.
Have you told her that you're changing your name every 9 days? Do you go in there with a different name when you go in
So
for
that's
sessions?
what I mean. Like, for example, I kept that outside. I know I shouldn't have, but I kept that outside of therapy. I have not told her about the name changing.
Right, you see, she doesn't know how insane you are.
Right, right. Well, I just thought, yeah, that she might make that into some clinical thing when really it's just for our show.
So you're going to get her to listen to it, and so she's going to be hit with the fact that you have a different name every show.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds good. I
Wait,
would
did we
love.
talk about everything we wanted to talk about?
I
The
think
chores?
I think we got everything that we wanted to talk about.
Okay.
This weekend, I'm going to the neighborhood block party. I'm excited about that.
That is
I'll have more
exciting.
people to ignore and not talk to, so I'll be reporting back from our neighborhood block party.
Okay.
And I think that about wraps up community news. If we're not thrown off the internet, we will be back at some point. This has been Paul.
And I am Jillian.
Facebook, tweet, like us on
Insta.
iTunes. Write us a review.
Find
Do
us.
what you want. Send us a
Comment.
question.
Comment on our iTunes. We want to hear from you.
And until then, we'll be talking to you again next week. Have a good week.
Take care.